Hi everyone, my name is Piyush and in this video we'll be coding our first Hello World program in Java. So in the last video we installed IntelliJ and we set up the JDK, right? And out of the box when we launched our first project on the IntelliJ, we got this Hello World program. So in this video we'll be writing this code again and we'll be understanding how we can write a simple Hello World program in Java. So before we jump right into the code, I want you to understand something which is really important. So I assume that there are two kind of people watching this course right now. One, those who have previously worked with C++, which is an object-oriented programming language. And second, those who are absolute beginners and they are getting started directly with Java. Now, first of all, if you are an absolute beginner, okay, so you need to watch this video very carefully. And if you have worked with C++ before and you know what our class is, so this video will be like really easy for you. Now let's start with the basics, that how to write a hello world program in Java. Okay. Now as per the Java compiler, okay, because like we are talking about the Java language here. So as per the Java compiler, what Java compiler says, like in C++, what we do, we create a main function, right? And from this main function, our execution begins, correct? But in Java, that is not the case. Like that is the case, but that is not the case directly. So in Java, what we have to do, what our compiler says, basically our compiler says that hey developer, go ahead and make a class named as main. Okay. Now those who haven't worked with C++ earlier, they might not know what our class is, right? So for them, just consider like class as a block of code as of now, because we'll be discussing about classes in the upcoming videos. Like class is a very important topic of the object oriented programming, and currently just understand it like a block of code. Okay, so what you have to do as per the Java compiler, you need to make a class named as main. Okay, so this will be the entry block of your code. Your code execution will start here, but that's not it. Okay, there is more to it. And then what you have to do inside this main block, basically inside this main class, you need to create a method, you need to create a function, or I can say, like for the new people, you need to create one more block named as main. Okay, so what you need to do, basically you need to say that public, like that test means it's publicly accessible basically. Then you need to make a static function. Okay, then you need to type in like public static, then you need to give a return type which is void, and then you just have to say main, which is the name of this method. And from this method, like this particular block is your entry point. Okay, so any code that you write here, like in between here, will get executed by the Java. Okay, now for the people like who have done C++ earlier, this is pretty understood, right? What is class, what is public, what is static, and what do you mean by return types and everything. Those who people are just getting started with Java, for them I need to tell them that what we did, basically we made a main block. Okay, and inside this main block we made a function, basically a block of code. Now when we say Java to run this program, what Java will do, basically it will first find this main function. Okay, this main class, and then inside this main class it will find this main function. Okay, with this syntax like public static void main, and this should have arguments of type string args. Okay, now what is this? I completely understand that if you are a beginner, you are finding this thing as confusing, but trust me, as we go along you will really understand this very well. So as of now I would suggest you can even memorize this. Okay, so this is what basically is like basically a main class, and inside this main class you need to create this function, this method public static void main, and any code that you write in between these blocks gets executed. Okay, now if I go to the code which is being generated by the IntelliJ Idea, you can see exactly what I just told. So there is a class main, right? So public class main, and inside this main you can see a method, basically this main method named as public static void main. Then this main function has access to something known as string arguments, right? Now what are these string args, we'll be discussing in the command line arguments in the upcoming videos, but as of now if you are a beginner, just memorize it. Okay, and then any code, any statements that we write in between of these curly braces actually gets executed by our Java compiler. Okay, So let's say let's remove this whole code and type this code on our own. So I'll say public, right? And then I'll say class. Basically we need to make a class named as main. Okay, now inside this main class, what we should have, another block, another method named as main. Okay, which is public. Okay, then it should be static, and then it should have a return type of void, and then I can say main, and this has access to, basically this has a argument of type arg, okay, which is a string array. And here whatever code I write will get executed by the Java compiler. So let's say I write system.out.println, and I say hey from code down. Okay, now what is this system.out.println thing? Basically it's a statement used to print something on the console, nothing more than that. Like in C we have printf, and C++ we have cout. So in Java we have system.out.println. So what I did, I say system.out.println hey from code down. And now when I run this code, basically what I can do, I can right click and I can click run main.main. Okay, and even I can like click on this play button here. So as you can see what happened, basically this particular code executed, and you can see the output on the terminal. Okay, now you can have multiple statements as well. Like I can say another system.out.println. Okay, system.out.println hey from Piyush. Okay, and now if I run this code, you see that you are now getting two statements, hey from codedam and hey from Piyush. Now let's say I have some other function here as well. Okay, let's say it's public, it's static, it's void, and let's say the name of this function is main2. Okay, and I write something here, so I can say like system.out.println hey once again. Okay, hey once again, and let's try to run this code. Now what you will figure out, that this particular statement never came on the terminal, right? Because what I told you, that only this particular code, that only this code is the one that is executed. All other code, all other classes are ignored by the compiler. So as per the design of Java compiler, you should have a class named as main with a capital M, and then inside that class you should have a static method, basically a public static void main method that has string arguments right here. And then inside this main function, whatever you write gets executed on the terminal. Okay, now I want to show you one thing, that I was like typing in system.out.println. Okay, and it really takes a lot of time to like type system.out.println. So in IntelliJ you have a shortcut for that. What you can do, you can say SOUT and click on enter, and it will auto complete system.out.println for you. So throughout this course I won't be writing system.out.println because it takes a lot of time to write, you know. So what I'll be doing, I'll say SOUT, and as soon as I click enter, that system.out.println is automatically auto completed by the IntelliJ Idea. So this is how you basically create a simple hello world app in your Java. So if I like, let's revise. So what we did, we made a class main. Inside that main, we should have a public static void main method that has string arguments as the parameter. And inside that, whatever we write, like we wrote two system.out.println statements, and that will get executed by the Java compiler.